And welcome back to Schwab Field. We're getting ready to start game 2. Dr. John Groth on the play-by-play for you here from Schwab Field. We're on the campus of the Brook Hill School. The Apaches and the Lady Roadrunners from Angelina College getting ready to do battle for the second time today. The Apaches took game 1, 12-4. And we'll try to get through these lineups here as we get to the first inning. For the Lady Roadrunners, now 41-16 on the year, 15-10 in Region 14 East play. Leading off is Lauren Garza, the left fielder. Batting second is designated player Taylor Davis. Batting third is first baseman Kaylee Parker. That's who will come to the plate here in the top of the first inning. Then it's Kaylee Holcomb in center, Jordan Kisselberg in right, Taylor LaGrange in left. First pitch swinging, popped up right side, and coming on to make the grab is Shelby Hotchkiss for out number 1, F9, and we are underway at 4:09.
Now batting number 20, Taylor Davis.
And here's Taylor Davis, the designated player, batting in the second position for sixth-year head coach Mark Matson, his wife Barbara, kind of team coaching the Lady Roadrunners. They won it all in 2014, national champions. Started out the first game with 3 runs. And hit their 95th home run as a squad. And you thought the bats were jumping in the racks for the Lady Roadrunners, which early on they were, but the Apaches bats came alive as well, and they ended up winning it going away 12-4. 3-0 now to Taylor Davis. In the circle for the Apaches, Julia Knight. Go through the defensive alignment for you here momentarily for the Apaches. That's in there for a strike. Out in left field, it's Brianna Pasinger. In center, it's Haley Weber. Shelby Hotchkiss in right. It's Moore, Chatham, Pete, and Goswick around the infield. Shelby Court back behind the plate, and in the circle, it's Julia Knight. There's a line drive, right field, base hit. So Davis with the first hit here in the ball game for the Lady Roadrunners. In the circle for the Apaches, it's the right-handed freshman from San Marcos, California, Julia Knight, 10-4 on the year, a 3.26 ERA, 96 2/3 innings, 60 strikeouts, and 20 walks for the freshman from San Marcos. First pitch is in there for strike 1 to Kaylee Parker. Julia Knight winds and delivers. Quickly 0-2 on Kaylee Parker. Kaylee Parker 0 for 2 in game 1. Still looking for her first hit of the day. Clouds are kind of moving in here at Schwab Field. We had some rain before game 1. Did not rain at all during the game in game 1. Pop up left side. And Chatham into short left field makes the grab. F6 if you're scoring at the house. Here's Kaylee Holcomb, excuse me. Yeah. Kaylee Holcomb.
Now batting number 17, Kaylee Holcomb.
In the first game, Kaylee was 2 for 3. A couple of singles, an RBI, and a run scored. Center fielder for the Lady Roadrunners. Now 41-16 on this season. They're 15-10 in conference play. Started the day in 4th place. 1 game ahead of Navarro. Fouled straight back on the fastball. And it's 0-2. Next pitch fouled out of play, and will stay at 0-2. So rounding out the lineup for Angelina, leading off it was Garza in left, Davis the DP, Parker at first, Holcomb in center, Jordan Kisselberg in right, Taylor LaGrange in left, Shea Vegas at second, Taylor Langenhager catching, and Miranda Wiggins at shortstop. So the only change in that lineup is in the 8th spot, Langenhager taking over for Morgan Connor. Ground ball up the middle, another base hit. So the second hit of the inning, the Lady Roadrunners, and there goes our lineups out the window. Wind caught a gust of wind here through the press box, and one of those lineups blew out the window. Thank you, sir. And stepping in is the fifth batter of the inning, Jordan Kisselberg. Right fielder, first pitch swung on and missed, 0-1. Kisselberg 0 for 3 in the first ball game. Is Julia Knight in the circle trying to get the Apaches into the dugout with a 0. They were not able to do that in game 1. They were losing 3-0. And foul ball right off the headgear of Shelby Court. And she's going to walk slowly out to the circle, and Coach Wynn's going to go out there and make sure she's okay. It was a foul tip on a fastball, and Kisselberg had a good rip at it, and it went right off appeared to go out right off the face mask of Shelby Court. She's kind of twisting her neck, just trying to make sure she's got her wits about her. And with all the concussion talk these days, you got to be very careful. Might actually see a trainer come out and check her out. A little surprised. She's walking around, and I don't know. We'll see. They might have her catch a couple of balls. She's walking very gingerly back to home plate. And I might get somebody ready to go here just in case she can't continue. And she's going to, I don't know if she's going to take a couple of warm-up tosses here or not. It does not appear as though she's going to do that. So we're back at action here. 0-2 count, 2 outs and 2 aboard. Here's the pitch. Just missed outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes, so evidently Shelby's okay. Appeared to catch that one without incident. And counts 1-2 on Jordan Kisselberg. Outside, didn't get her to go for that one either, and it's 2-2. Julia Knight with 2 outs has not struck anyone out, hasn't walked anyone, given up a couple of hits. Fly ball to right and a pop up to short. Here's the 2-2. Little check swing, and I'll go back behind the plate. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the next pitch. As 3 different times now, Julia Knight has tried to go way outside to see if Kisselberg would bite on that pitch, and she hasn't done it. And here's the payoff pitch. And she fights off an inside fastball. And we'll stay at 3-2. Good energy coming out of that Lady Roadrunner dugout. Runners will be off at the pitch once again here with a full count and 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Pop up, that's going to get out of play. We'll do it again. And here's the third payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Got her. That's a big strikeout here in the first inning for Julia Knight, her first of the ball game. And we'll go to the bottom of inning number 1. We're still scoreless from Schwab Field in Bullard. right, let's get these lineups going for you as the Apaches get ready to bat in their half of the first. We are starting to get some sprinkles here as the clouds thicken, and the radar is saying we are going to get some here and might be a little heavier at times. For the Apaches, it's Brianna Pasinger leading it off. Then it'll be Rebecca Snow, the designated player, Haley Weber in center, Mackenzie Goswick at first, Shelby Court the catcher, Casey Moore at third, Mackenzie Pete at second, Mackenzie Chatham at short, and Shelby Hotchkiss to round the lineup out in right field. In the circle for the Lady Roadrunners, Kylie Murdoch. Murdoch, 6-1 on the year with a 2.41 ERA, 49 in a third innings, 22 strikeouts, 17 walks. First pitch missed, ball one. Next pitch outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Defensively for the Angelina Lady Roadrunners, Taylor DeGrange in left, Kaylee Holcomb in center, Jordan Kisselberg in right. It's Garza, Wiggins, Vegas, and Parker around the infield. And the one change in their lineup is Taylor Lingenhager is behind the plate here for game 2. And, of course, Kylie Murdoch is a change in the circle. 2-1 to Brianna Pasinger. Missed outside, 3-1. So rain may have a little bit of a shower coming up here. We'll have to keep an eye to the sky as the radar shows us. We may, it's not going to be for long, but it may delay action for a moment. We had a couple of umbrellas come out a moment ago, but for now it's dry but overcast. Pasinger draws the leadoff walk, and here's Rebecca Snow. Rebecca Snow, 1 for 2 in game 1. She scored 2 runs and had 2 RBIs. She shows bunt, pulls back, ball 1. Glad you're with us here for game number 2 of the doubleheader. Apaches and the Lady Roadrunners doing battle here, both trying to secure their spots in the playoffs. Apaches sit atop the conference, now at 20-3 overall in the conference play, and the Lady Roadrunners 15-10 in conference play. Depending on how Navarro did today, the Lady Roadrunners may have to chase down the Lady Bulldogs. There's a wild pitch, and Pasinger goes to second base. (3-0) to Rebecca Snow. Kylie Murdoch in the circle for the Lady Roadrunners. That pitch in there for a strike, and it's 3-1. Clouds have definitely gotten a little darker here in the last 10 or 15 minutes. We kind of knew this was coming. There's ball 4. So back-to-back walks to lead off the bottom of inning number 1. Here's Haley Weber.
Now batting number 21, Haley Weber. Go, Haley!
Haley Weber, 2 for 3 in game 1. Scored twice and had 3 RBIs. Had a 3-run homer in the 4th inning. That was a 7-run 4th that put the Apaches over the top in a 12-4 victory. One of the big hits of the game and of that inning was the 3-run homer to center field by Haley Weber. Here's the 1-0. In there for a strike, 1-1. Apaches trying to win their 8th game in a row. They're on a 7-game winning streak. The loss in game 1 broke a 4-game winning streak by the Lady Roadrunners. 1-1 pitch, little bloop, and the shortstop, Miranda Wiggins, squeezes that one for the first out of the inning.
Now batting number 19, Mackenzie Goswick.
Here's the first baseman, Mackenzie Goswick. And Mackenzie in game 1, 2 for 4, 1 run scored, a double, and an RBI. And she lined out in the 4th to center field. The bases loaded. Hit a bullet right to Kaylee Holcomb in center. Kylie Murdoch taking her time. Here's the next pitch. That ball got away, and it hit the umpire. I think he's injured. He's going to go down in a crumple. Base runners move up a spot. Now time is called as Mr. Umpire kind of staggers away from home plate. We're going to check his arm. Wild pitch, yep. So Pasinger goes to third. Snow goes to second. We're going to check out the umpire. The trainer goes out and looks at his right arm. Not sure what they're going to do here. You only got 2 guys, so he's not. He's in a fair amount of pain here, and if he broke a bone in that hand or wrist, he might have a lengthy delay. I don't know how. I'm not sure it's that much better in the field. You got a broken hand. You're not in harm's way quite as much, so you might think about flip-flopping these umpires. The field umpire smiling as I can see what's going through his mind, and he's going to have to call both games behind home plate here in a minute if Mr. Umpire can't continue. The Apache trainer is trying to. Is that? I thought that was the trainer. Is that Coach Wynn? Oh, okay. So now we're going to get one of the associate trainers to head out there and take a closer look at this hand or the forearm. And his partner is smiling as if he knows he's going to have to switch out the gear here. So we may have a little bit of a delay. I don't know. He came over and talked to someone through the netting. I don't know. Maybe I would think if they're going to flip-flop here, that guy would be headed toward the locker room, and he's walking over somewhere. They're going to take a 5-minute delay here. They're talking over now to the Angelina dugout, and I'm not sure what's happening. They're out there. Now he's talking to the pitcher, and they're going to give her some warm-up tosses. What's going to happen is the home plate umpire appears to be going to stay where he's at for the moment. And never fun when that ball goes off the forearm. You can't cover everything, and now we're going to get a rain shower here as the rain starts picking up. So never a dull moment. A slight delay for the umpire. And now he seems to be okay, and he's still shaking his head in pain here, so. Now, it was a wild pitch that got away, and it moved the runners up, and now the fans are going to have to run for cover. We've got a couple of fans with umbrellas, but an awful lot of them. We do have some covered seating, but I don't know that they can see anything over there in that concession area. It's behind the dugout. Might have to log in and watch it on their phone. That pitch missed, and it's 3-0. Rain coming down fairly hard now. We kind of saw this coming on the radar, and really picking up now. That ball's fouled straight back. And I don't know if it's 2-1 or 3-1. That long delay some heavier showers here. The dirt part of this field will take some rain, but boy, if it continues for a long time, it'll get kind of sloppy out there, and the umpires will have to make sure everyone's safe. It's a dust bowl out there, so this rain actually is probably going to help the field, at least for the moment. Now, if it continues, that's another issue. Here's the next pitch. That's low and away, and I thought that was ball 4. Now the umpire's going to call. They're going to take a moment. I don't know if they're going to pull the tarp or they're just going to get off the field and let it rain. But we have a delay, and we'll keep the cameras rolling, but I'll take a little break from the play-by-play. Don't know that I need to describe the rainfall in here. So we'll be back when action returns. Stay with us. Back in a few minutes, hopefully. The rain does not appear to be too consistent on the radar, so hopefully this will just be a few minutes and we'll be back at softball.
We haven't fun yet. Probably. No, probably not. You think Tyler? Friday night. Rain was in forecast. That's the day. We started at 1:30 in the afternoon. Rain probably started about 2 o'clock. It's wet. That is? Yeah.
Okay, so I just talked to the umpire, one of the umpires, and the sun is out now. The rain has stopped. We're going to have about a 20-minute delay or so, maybe 30, depending on how long it takes to get this quick dry onto the playing surface, especially at home plate in the mound. And so I think the rain is done, but it came down pretty heavy for a number of minutes. By my count, we're about 15 minutes into this delay, and it's going to be another 20 minutes or so. They're going to put some quick dry down, and I think they're going to try to get this one in because the weather appears to be, as you can see, the sun is out and it's cleared off. So it was just one of those spot pop-up showers that hit us, and it kept coming. And so we're going to try to get this thing ready to go. We'll keep the camera rolling, and I'll turn the microphone off as we watch these players and coaches try to get this field back in playing condition. But for now, we'll be in a delay. We'll be back on the air with the audio as the action warrants. So if you want to hang with us, you may want to go get yourself a sandwich or some popcorn or something and check back with us here in a few minutes. But we will keep this broadcast going on the video, and we'll be back with the play-by-play when the action starts. I have heard from the grandparents of Casey Moore from Magnolia, John and Linda Keltgen. Appreciate them checking in. And feel free to stay with us. Actually, the field was quite dry today, so in other days it may not have taken quite as much rain, but it actually doesn't look quite as bad. Now, home plate and the mound are a little bit spicy out there. They're trying to put some quick dry down to get those areas safe and playable. So we'll be back with you here momentarily, but we'll keep the broadcast going. And when we're playing, we'll get back on the air.
2.
All right, we are back here at Schwab Field, and we're moments from restarting this game. We, by my unofficial account, are going to be in. We've probably had about a 60-minute rain delay here in Bullard. The field is dry enough to play on. They've drug it a couple of times, put some new chalk lines down, and we will resume play in the bottom of the first inning. So, Senor, dinner's going to be a little later tonight. You going to be okay with that? Dinner's going to be a little later tonight. Tell Mom to keep the... All right. Well, the good news is you'll miss that 5 o'clock traffic going back to Tyler, right? Well, it looks like we'll see if we got, Kylie Murdoch is back in the circle, so no change there. And I'm assuming that we probably will not have any lineup changes, but if we do, we'll note those as we go along. So we're going to have almost exactly 1 hour rain delay here as the ball goes down to second base. At the plate at the time was Mackenzie Goswick, and the scoreboard has a 3-2 count. So it only took Senior Pete an hour to get the count right. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and there is 1 out in the inning with runners at first and second. We're still scoreless here, and the pitch. And ball 4. So Goswick draws the walk. That took a while to get done there, but she's at first base after 1 hour delay. Exactly 1 hour rain delay unofficially as we resume play at 5:30.
Now batting number 12, Shelby Court.
And with bases loaded, 1 out, here's Shelby Court, the catcher. Kylie Murdoch in the circle for Angelina. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 1. Sun is out and has been out for quite a while. We had a nice little shower that really doused the infield. It was very dry when we got here today, and so it took a lot of rain, but at some point they needed to add some quick dry and make sure these young ladies are safe out there, not slipping around like they're on ice skates. 2 balls, no strikes to Shelby Court. First rain delay we've had this year in a home game, at least on the games that I've broadcast. Fouled straight back, and it's 2-1. Well, you hate to have Angelina have to come back over here for 1 ball game, and with the weather forecast as it was and is, it appears as though we're going to be fine for the rest of this ball game. So we're back at it. Here's the 2-1. Way outside, gets away from the catcher. The run will come home. It's 1-0 Apaches on the wild pitch. So Paysinger comes home with the game's first run after the wild pitch. Snow goes to third base, and Goswick goes to second base. Birds are chirping now as the sun out in full force. 3 balls and a strike to Shelby Court. Fouled straight back. One of the frustrating parts of that delay is it gets you out of your rhythm. And tell you what, Kylie Murdoch in the circle, she had to wait for 60 minutes to get back in that circle and throw another pitch. And that's no fun, I can tell you that. Been through a number of rain delays over the years, and the pitching is always the biggest question mark as you return to play. Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss. Ball gets away from the catcher, flip to the home plate. Everybody's safe. Well, boy, it's just not working out too well for the Roadrunners here as we return to play. It's going to be a pass ball, and Goswick goes to third. Snow comes home with the second run of the inning, and Shelby Court, despite striking out, reaches first base. It was not a wild pitch. The catcher, Taylor Langenhager, just had it go off her glove.
Now batting 14,
Here's Casey Moore, the third baseman. Runners on the corners. 2 runs are in for the Apaches here in the first. First pitch. Outside corner, strike 1. Did get a chance to visit with that home plate umpire. His right hand is pretty swollen. Took the wild pitch off the right hand, and fortunately he seemed to be okay, but definitely had some swelling on the top of that hand. 1 ball, 1 strike. A big thank you to Anthony Springer, the softball coach here at the Brook Hill School, who did yeoman's work in getting this field back into shape. Helped us get the quick dry out, and he was the guy on the tractor during the rain delay to get this field playable for these ladies. So a big shout out to Coach Springer for helping us get this game back on track. There's a throw to second on the steal into center. It's going to be an E2 on the throw, and another run for the Apaches as Gosway comes home to score. Shelby Court stole second, and Taylor Lingenhager threw down to second to try to get the stealing Shelby Court. The ball skipped into the dirt and into center field, bringing the run home. It's 3-0 Apaches. And the energy level in the circle right now and behind home plate is not at a very high level. Angelina, sometimes those rain delays just take a little bit out of you, and there's a swing and a miss. And Casey Moore is the first strikeout victim. Actually, the second strikeout victim, but Shelby Court actually reached base on the pass ball. So
now batting number 8, Mackenzie Pete.
Here's Mackenzie Pete with 2 outs. First pitch is in there for strike 1 from Kylie Murdoch. Well, we saw the Cubs take full advantage of the rain delay last year in the World Series, right? Game 7. Ball in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. They come back and in extra innings after that rain delay in Cleveland, Game 7 of the World Series. They end up winning their first World Series after the rain delay. And I don't know if you've heard the stories of how the Cubs met in their training room during that rain delay and kind of rallied each other.
They also gave their scoreboard operator a championship ring.
Pete Mendolia lobbying for a championship ring here. Foul ball out of play. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. So a 60-minute rain delay, and the Apaches come back off the rain delay and are able to put 3 runs on the board here in the bottom of the first. 1-2 count with 2 outs. Just missed off the plate, 2-2. Mackenzie Pete up there for the first time here in the second game. She was 0 for 2 in game 1. That ball missed low, and now we're at a full count. And the pitch. Strike 3 called. So the third strikeout of the inning, and that'll end it. That the Apaches get 3 runs on no hits. How's that? 3 runners were walked, all 3 of them scored. We'll go to the top of the second. Your new score from Schwab Field. After a 60-minute rain delay, we're back at softball here in Bullard. 3-0 Apaches. And welcome back to Bullard, Texas. We're at Schwab Field on the campus of the Brook Hill School. Dr. John Groth on the play-by-play for you. We go to the second inning. 5, 6, 7, and 8 for Angelina, the Lady Roadrunners. Going to have a 3-run deficit. First pitch swinging. They've been doing that all day long. Taylor LaGrange fouls it off. It's 0-1. Well, Julia Knight's got the same dilemma. She's been sitting in that dugout for 60 minutes. And now she's got to crank it back up. So we'll see how she fares. Next pitch, fouled off. It's quickly 0-2 on Taylor LaGrange. It'll be Taylor LaGrange, Shea Vegas, and Taylor Lingenhager scheduled to come to home plate for the Lady Roadrunners from Angelina College. Next pitch, strike 3 called, outside corner, and there's 1 out. Second strikeout of the game for Julia Knight. That'll bring up Shea Vegas, the second baseman. Angelina is in Lufkin, Texas, 84 miles from where we're at now, about 1 hour and 45 minutes from Tyler.
Now batting number 23, Shea Vegas.
Guess it depends on which route you take, but made that. Huh?
Let's get it right.
What?
From Bullard.
Yeah, it's 84 miles from Tyler to Lufkin. Lufkin is about straight south of Tyler, maybe southeast a little bit. I don't know if it takes me 1 hour and 45 to get to at least the campus of Angelina. There's a ground ball to third, nicely played over there by Casey Moore, and a nice pick at first by Mackenzie Goswick for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down. Here's Taylor Lingenhager.
Now batting number 24, Taylor Lingenhager.
She'll get her first at bat of the day. She did not play in game 1. She's behind the plate for the Lady Roadrunners. First pitch in there for strike 1. Well, Julia Knight has come back firing strikes. And she's worked ahead of all 3 hitters here in the second inning. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Just misses inside, even at 1-1. The Lady Roadrunners now 41-16 after dropping game 1 of the doubleheader. 15-10 in conference play. That's the most important number. Is they try to stay ahead of the Navarro Lady Bulldogs for that 4th and final playoff spot in Region 14 East. 2 balls, 1 strike. Pitch is low, 3-1. Actually got a pretty nice turnout here for a midweek game at Schwab Field. Popped up straight up the chute and caught by Shelby Court for the final out. FO2 if you're scoring at the house. 3 up, 3 down, nothing across for Angelina in the second. We go to the bottom half of inning number 2. 3-0 Tyler. And welcome back to Schwab Field. Bottom of the second inning. 8-9-1 for the Apaches. Chatham, Hodgkiss, and then back to the top in Paysinger. Kylie Murdoch in the circle for the Lady Roadrunners.
Now batting for the Apaches, number 2, Mackenzie Chatham.
A 60-minute rain delay. So we go to the second inning, and we've been here from the first pitch. It's been an hour and 34 minutes. First pitch swinging, and this is popped out of play. 0-1 on Mackenzie Chatham, the shortstop. For Mackenzie, first at bat of this game. She was 1 for 2 in game 1 with 2 RBIs. A single to center and a sac fly in that 7-run fourth inning. Apache's brought 13 batters to the plate. That's quite a few in 1 inning. And they end up winning that first game 12-4. 12 runs on 11 hits. Angelina 4 runs on 8 hits. There's a pop-up, and the second baseman, Shea Vegas, squeezes it for out number 1. Here's Shelby Hotchkiss for the first time. And Shelby was 2 for 3 in game 1. Scored a run, had an RBI. Couple of singles for Shelby in game 1. And she'll face Kylie Murdoch for the first time here in game 2. First pitch over the heart of the plate, strike 1. Well, would love to hear from any of you who have stuck with us through the rain delay. Let us know where you're watching from, who you're rooting for. It's almost dinner time, depending on where you're at. Pete says it's past his dinner time.
He goes to sleep at 9 o'clock.
It's getting close to your bedtime. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
By the time the game's over, it might be. They do have lights here at Schwab Field, so if this game drags on, we can certainly flip on the candles and play under the lights. 2 balls, 1 strike to Shelby Hotchkiss. Ball got away, and it's 3-1. One out, nobody aboard here in the bottom of inning number 2. The Apaches scored 3 runs on no hits in the first inning. So Shelby Hotchkiss draws the 1-out walk. That'll be the 4th walk of the game.
Now batting number 3, Brianna Paysinger.
And as strange as it may sound, Kylie Murdoch in the circle for the Angelina Lady Roadrunners still has a no-hitter. But she trails 3-0. Apache's all 3 runners that scored in the inning number 1 reached via the walk. A couple of pass balls, a couple of wild pitches accounted for all 3 runs. Here's the 1-0. In there for a strike. It's 1-1 to Brianna Paysinger. She walked and scored in the first. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out. In there for a strike. 1-2. And the pitch. And Paysinger just kind of flips her hands out there and stays alive. Next pitch popped up left side. Could be trouble. Fair ball. That's going to be a bloop single for Brianna Paysinger. Well, you thought it was going to go foul, but sure enough, it hit right on the stripe down the left field line. Hotchkiss goes to second base. And now Paysinger at first, still only 1 out. Here's Rebecca Snow.
Now batting number 15, Rebecca Snow.
Well, the Apache baseballers have a big series with Coastal Bend this weekend, starting tomorrow, 4-game set. All right, so Navarro swept Paris today, so that means these are huge games. This game right here, let's see, if they stayed at 10, so they're now tied. So if Angelina were to drop this, they would fall to 5th place here. The Apaches can hold on to this lead. Of course, we got a lot of softball to play here. But we just got word that Navarro has swept Paris in a doubleheader, so they will remain at 10 losses. And, of course, going into the day, Angelina was at 9. They're now at 10 losses, 15-10. So very important game for the Angelina Lady Roadrunners in the playoff picture. And still a lot of softball to play, so this isn't the last day by any stretch. But at least for now, it would bump them outside the playoff scenario. In there for a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rebecca Snow at the plate for the Apaches. 1st and 2nd, 1 out. And the pitch. Line drive, right center field, all the way to the fence. 1 run's coming home. It's 4-0. The second run's going to be sent home. Here's the throw to the plate, and not in time. 5-0 Apaches on the RBI double by Rebecca Snow. That ball was laced into the right center gap. It short hopped the fence, and Hotchkiss scores easily. Pasinger was sent around, and the close play at the plate. Throw was not there in time. Snow went to 3rd on the throw to home plate, so you got a runner at 3rd. Still only 1 out, and your new score 5-0. Here's Haley Weber. First pitch misses, ball 1. Weber walked and scored. No, I'm sorry, she popped up to short her first time up. She was 2 for 3 in game 1. She had a 3-run homer and a single. Look out, almost a wild pitch there. And as you can just tell from the body language, Kylie Murdoch does not feel confident. Kind of shaking her head and walking back to the mound. Body language is just not real positive at this point. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Outside corner, 2-1. That was a good pitch. So she's one of these folks that walks back to the back of the circle every pitch. And she'll walk back, get her sign, and go to work. 2-1. Line drive. Can't catch it at second. Throw to first. Got the runner. But the run comes home. Rebecca Snow. And it's 6-0 Apaches on the fielder's choice from Haley Weber. 4-3 if you're scoring at the house. And that's going to bring up Mackenzie Goswick.
Now batting number 19, Mackenzie Goswick.
So Mackenzie walked and scored the 3rd run of the 1st inning. She's getting her 2nd at bat in as many innings. 6-0 Apaches. They've matched the 3 in inning number 1 with another 3 here in inning number 2. First pitch was right down Broadway. It's 0-1 to Goswick. Kylie Murdoch in the circle for the Lady Roadrunners. That ball's in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Two outs and nobody aboard in the 2nd inning. Fly ball left field. LaGrange under it makes the catch for the final out of the inning. F7 if you're scoring at the house. The Apaches get 3 more runs on 2 hits. And they don't leave anyone on base. We go to the 3rd inning. Your new score from Schwab Field. The Apache 6 and the Lady Roadrunners 0. Back in a minute on ApacheAthletics.com.
And Miranda Wiggins.
Welcome back to Schwab Field, top of the third inning. 6-0 Apaches, 9-1-2 for Angelina here in the third inning. First pitch over the heart of the plate with a fastball, strike one. Well, Julia Knight has come back firing strikes here after the rain delay. She worked ahead of the hitters in the second inning, and she pumps strike one here in the third. There's a looping liner in. Back to the top we go, and Lauren Garza.
Now batting number 8, Lauren Garza.
So the Lady Roadrunners with some work to do, but they've got plenty of time to do it. 6-0. That's what they need right there. They need base runners and base hits. Pop up on the first swing, straight back off the net over our heads. And that'll roll all the way back. And just trickle off the net and going to be plopping right down. Mr. Umpire had to figure out that ball's coming back. Oh, he's barely going to get down there and reach that thing. No balls, one strike. And that's some thick hair for Lauren Garza. Look at the ponytail. There's a bunt, third base. And nice play at third by Casey Moore. Going to third, it's a double play. Nicely done by the Apaches. So on the bunt by Garza, Moore came in, made a nice play at first base, threw her out, 5-3. And then the throw to third base when Wiggins was trying to come all the way around to third on the play, and she was tagged out. So nicely done by the Apache infielders to get the double play. And there's 2 outs, nobody aboard for Taylor Davis. An aggressive base running move there ended up costing Angelina. Down 6 runs, you really kind of need those outs. Trying to go play for the big inning there, and unfortunately, at third base, Miranda Wiggins was thrown out. First pitch missed, and it's 1-0. I said 1-0 or 2-0? 2-0, excuse me. That's in there for a strike, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Taylor Davis, base hit to right field her first time up. That seemed like a long while ago, and it was. Popped it up left side, coming in, and now going out is Mackenzie Chatham. She makes the catch right in front of Pasinger for the final out. That's going to go F6 if you're scoring at the house. We'll go to the bottom of inning number 3. The score remains 6-0. The Apaches lead it. All right, a couple of shout-outs to some of you that have chimed in on the YouTube message system. Of course, John and Linda Keltgen from Magnolia, Texas. That was maybe before the rain delay. Watching Casey Moore from Magnolia, and D33 Man 310 says hello. I'm not sure who that is. Watching here in Colorado at the baseball fields. Ashlyn Kaiser. Appreciate her checking in. And then from San Marcos, California, go Apaches. Zacharias Knight checked in a few minutes ago. So thanks for the notes on the YouTube message system. Want to give me a quick hello. And that's caught by the shortstop, Miranda Wiggins, for out number 1. That was Shelby Court popping up. So Shelby now 0 for 2. She struck out her first time up. That's going to bring up Casey Moore. She also struck out her first time up.
Now batting number 17, Casey Moore.
Apaches lead 6-0, bottom of inning number 3. A 60-minute rain delay. Apaches were Kylie Murdoch in the circle. 0-1 pitch. Just misses high. 1 ball and 1 strike. We're all just 1 hour closer, aren't we, Pete?
Kelsey, are you going to openly
I'll throw myself on top of the casket.
Oh, I expect that.
1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out here in the 3rd inning. Missed outside, 2-1.
Are you planning on dying soon, Pete? Where's your rest
I ain't got much time left. You get up there. You ain't got a lot
in
of
the
time.
bucket.
You ain't got a lot of time left.
Here's the 2-1. Some interesting discussions going on in the press box here at the moment. Maybe it's the Easter weekend that's bringing this on, Pete.
Ready to open my eyes and see Jesus.
3 balls, 1 strike, and 1 out. Inside ball 4. So it's a 1-out walk to Casey Moore. And for Kylie Murdoch, that's going to be walk number 5. So command's been an issue so far in this one for Murdoch. Here's Mackenzie Pete. She struck out looking to end the 1st inning. For 2 in the first game. There's a little nubber to second. Vegas has to flip it underhand, and she does and gets the out. So Pete is out at first base on the 4-3. Casey Moore moves to second. Here's Mackenzie Chatham.
Now batting number
Chatham
2,
popped up to
Mackenzie
second base her first time up. 0-for-1 in this ball game. Chatham had 2 RBIs in game 1 with a single and a sac fly. 1 for 2. In game 1, a 12-4 victory for the Tyler Apaches, their 20th conference win of the year. They're 20 wins and 3 losses. 41-13 on the year. Pitch is in there for a strike. We're even at 1-1. These squads both have 41 wins on the year. Angelina 41-16. The Apaches 41-13. Ground ball up the middle, base hit. Runner's going to be sent home. Here's the throw to the plate, and it's going to be close, but she's safe. An RBI single. Hustling over to third on the throw is Mackenzie Chatham. And it's 7-0 Apaches. So Chatham gets the single, and she hustles all the way around to third on the throw to home plate. So 2 outs, a run is in. Here's the 9-hitter, Shelby Hotchkiss.
Shelby Hotchkiss.
She walked and scored in the 2nd inning. Kylie Murdoch in the circle. There's a pop-up right in front of the dugout. Can't quite make the catch. The catcher, Langenhager, came right over to the net, and the ball hit right off the edge of the brick for strike 1. Well, the Apaches play that 8-run rule. They need 1 more to get the 8-run difference. That pitch is in there for a strike. 0-2 on Shelby Hotchkiss. Of course, I think you got to play 5. Is that right? So you got a whole nother inning for the Roadrunners to get a run. Ground ball right back at the pitcher. Murdoch flips it over to first, and there's almost a collision. But they do get the out, so it goes 1-3. That'll end the inning. The Apaches get 1 run on 1 hit. They leave a runner on. And we'll go to inning number 4, your new score from Schwab Field. 7-0, Tyler over Angelina. Back in just a minute. It's Tyler softball. Back for the fourth inning here at Schwab Field. For Angelina, it's 3, 4, and 5. Kaylee Parker leads it off. First pitch is in there for strike one from Julia Knight, who has been locked in from the start. Pitch misses outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. She came back throwing strikes after that 60-minute rain delay. She's trying to get her 11th win of the year. 10-4 so far this year. Came in with a 3.26 ERA, 96 2/3, 60 strikeouts, 20 walks for the freshman from San Marcos, California. Here's the 1-2. Line shot into left, base hit. So Parker is aboard with nobody out here in the fourth. That was a well-hit ball, probably the hardest hit ball of the day against
17, Callie Holcomb.
Julia Knight. Here's Kaylee Holcomb, the center fielder. She singled to center her first time up. Apaches lead 7-0 here, top of inning number 4. This team is very capable of scoring a lot of runs in a short amount of time. Came into the doubleheader leading the conference with 94 homers. And they had one in game 1, so they have 95 on the year right now. So they can score runs in bunches when they need to. It's quickly 0-2 on Kaylee Holcomb. Apache's looking for that double play ball. Here's the pitch from Knight. Pop up, left field. Pacinger's under it, and there's 1 out. Well, a lot of these Angelina hitters have that kind of a drop and drive type of swing. And when you catch one, it's going to leave the yard, but when you don't, it's going to be an easy pop fly like that one was. Here's Jordan Kisselberg, the right fielder. She struck out swinging to end the first inning. First pitch swung on and missed, strike 1. Kisselberg in game 1 was 0 for 3. She struck out, grounded out, and flew out to left. 0-1 pitch. Fouled straight back, 0-2. And you can't argue that this Angelina squad, very aggressive in the batter's box. They do not get cheated on their swings, and they take healthy cuts, and they do it early in the count, looking for that good pitch early in the count. Here's the 0-2. On pop-up straight back. Count will stay 0-2. They're led by sixth-year coaching tandem Mark and Barbara Matson. They won it all back in 2014, the national championship for Angelina. Swing and a miss on the off-speed. Nicely done there by Julia Knight. Strikeout number 3 for Julia. With 2 outs, that's going to bring Taylor LaGrange to the plate.
Now batting number 22, Taylor LaGrange.
She struck out looking her first time up. Takes a hack at that one. It's 0-1. Just did get her name in before that first pitch. From Kelsey Weeks to my left. Taking over for Charles Smith. No balls, 1 strike. I'm trying to make Pete feel a little better. 0-2 on Taylor LaGrange. Angelina trying to battle back from a 7-0 deficit here in the 4th inning. Here's the pitch. Just missed outside. Some of the Apache faithful thought it was strike 3. Just off the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Kaylee Parker, at first, she was on with nobody out. Popped out of play. We'll do it again. Parker led the inning off with a solid single to left field. And Holcomb flew out to left. And Kisselberg just struck out. Well, there's 2 outs and 1 aboard. 1-2 is the count. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Got her. Strikeout number 4 for Julia Knight. And the second strikeout in a row for the Lady Roadrunners. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. The score remains 7-0 Apaches. Back in a minute. It's Tyler Softball on ApacheAthletics.com. All right, the Apaches bat in their half of the 4th inning. And if they score 1 run and can hold the Lady Roadrunners scoreless, it would be the 2nd consecutive run rule game for the Apaches. They won the first game by an 8-run rule, 12-4 in 5 innings in game 1. So here's Brianna Pasinger. For the 3rd time in the ball game, she walked and scored in the first. She singled and scored in the second. We're in the 4th inning. First pitch is ball 1. Kylie Murdoch continues in the circle for Angelina. The 1-0 pitch, high and in tight. 2-0. Well, the Rangers, check on the Rangers here in a minute. They were losing earlier. And we'll see what the MLB scoreboard tells us. Next pitch is going to miss. 3-0. Well, what happened to the...
They're 4 games behind the
Astros? Rangers, it's a final. They lose to the A's 9-1.
5 games behind the Astros.
Rangers now 5-10 on the year. So the Astros, one of Senor's favorite teams. Mr. Umpire's taking a water break. Well, I'm not sure what caused that. Maybe he got something in his throat. Did the Astros, I'm going to see if the Astros are playing tonight. Doesn't look like they are. Astros, 7-10 start against the, no, they play tomorrow against the Angels. So the Angels will go down to Houston, and here is a leadoff walk to Brianna Pasinger. She represents the potential run rule run
15,
at first base. Here's Rebecca Snow. So Rebecca Snow, a 2-run double her last time up. She walked and scored back in the first inning. She's going to bunt right out in front of the plate, throw to first in time. So it'll go 1-3 on the sac bunt by Rebecca Snow, and Coach Maria Wynn Ratliff going for the win here. She's trying to get that 8th run in the scoring position with 1 out. Here's Haley Weber now. And Weber popped up to short and hit a ground ball to second. 0 for 2 in this ball game. She had a 3-run homer in game 1 to go with a single, a walk, and a fly ball to center. So she had a really nice game 1. Has not gotten a hit here in game 2. Now time is called by the home plate umpire as Brianna Pasinger has to tie her shoe. And we're back at it with an 0-1 count to Haley Weber. Kylie Murdoch winds. Here's the 0-1. In there for a strike. It's 0-2. Murdoch has her sign. Here's the 0-2. Well hit center field and caught. Throw to third is not going to be in time to get Pasinger. So Pasinger moves up on the fly ball to Kaylee Holcomb in center. F8 if you're scoring at the house. Here's Mackenzie Goswick. Goswick's going to have a chance. They checked on the appeal play. And the appeal play was not granted, so Pasinger stands safely at third base with 2 outs. Mackenzie Goswick walked and scored in the first and flew out to end the second inning to left field. First pitch in the dirt, nicely blocked there by Langenhager to save a run, and a big run. If the Apaches score this 8th run, it'll make this a 3-out ball game for Angelina. So Lady Roadrunners want to do all they can to keep this run from scoring. Here's the 1-0. Low, 2-0. Goswick at the plate. She's the cleanup hitter. Shelby Court on deck. Apaches scored 12 runs in the first game. They lead this one 7-0. Here's the 2-0. And kind of took a half-hearted swing at that outside fastball, fouled it off, and it's 2-1. Angelina outfield playing a little more conventional here in the second game than they did in game 1. They were playing a lot of shifts in that outfield in the first game. And the 2-1. Line drive center field. That'll score the run. It's 8-0 Apaches. A 2-out single by Mackenzie Goswick. And it's 8-0 Apaches. That'll bring up Shelby Court now with a runner at first, 2 outs. Scores 8-0. So now you're 3 outs away from consecutive run rule victories. Shelby Court struck out swinging in the first, popped up to short in the third. 0 for 2 in this ball game. She homered in the first game. 2 for 2 with 3 RBIs and 2 runs scored. Offensive star of the game in game 1 was Shelby Court. First pitch misses. It's 1-0. Look out, it hit her in the foot. She'll waddle down to first base after the hit by pitch. First and second, 2 outs. Here's Casey Moore. Casey Moore walked and scored in the third inning, struck out swinging back in the first. The Apaches have been able to put some big innings together and trying to do it again here with 2 outs in the fourth inning. 3 runs in the first, 3 in the second. They have not been shut out in an inning here in this game. 3-3, 1-1, 8-0 is the score. Next pitch outside, 2-0. Pitch fouled straight back, 2-1. Apaches 8 runs on just 4 hits. Fouled off again, and we're even at 2-2. Casey Moore at the plate for the Apaches. Both teams with 4 hits, but the Apaches with 8 big runs. The big difference has been the walks. 4 of the runs for the Apaches have reached via the walk. Line drive down the first base line, just foul. Barely out of the reach of Kaylee Parker. We'll do it again at 2-2. 2 outs and 2 runners aboard for Tyler Junior College. Shelby Court at first base. Mackenzie Goswick at second. Kylie Murdoch winds. Here's the 2-2. Little looper into right, and running over to make the catch is Jordan Kisselberg for the final out of the inning. The Apaches get one more run, and they now lead at 8-0. They need 3 outs to secure this doubleheader sweep. We'll be back in a minute with the 5th inning. 8-0 Apaches. Just talking up in the press box about the big 4-game series with the Coastal Bend Cougars, the Apache baseballers, over at Mike Carter Field. All 4 of those games will be broadcast. 1 o'clock start tomorrow, single 9, and a doubleheader on Friday at noon, and then a 1 o'clock start on Saturday. So very important games for the Tyler baseballers. That's the only conference games of the year. There's only 2 teams in the conference, or in the region, I guess is what you would say. They have a 7-game series. The winner of that series will host the playoffs. So the Tyler baseballers going at it tomorrow out at Mike Carter. We'll have those broadcasts for you. 1 o'clock tomorrow, 12 o'clock doubleheader Friday, and then a 1 o'clock game on Saturday. 1 ball and 1 strike to Shea Vegas, the Lady Roadrunners needing a run to extend the game. There's a leadoff single. Well, that's what you need right there, some base runners. 1B9 if you score at the house. That's the first hit of game 2 for Shea Vegas. Vegas was 3 for 3 in game 1. She was the offensive star of the game for the Lady Roadrunners. So that's her 4th hit of the day. Here's Taylor Langenhager. Popped up to the catcher her first time up. 0 for 1 on the day. She did not play in game 1. There's the bunt. Popped up. Caught by the first baseman, Goswick, for out number 1. So what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Both coaches trying to bunt here in the late in this ball game. The Angelina Roadrunners trying to extend the ball game. But Langenhager could not get the bunt down. And Mackenzie Goswick caught that ball. There's another bunt attempt. And ball missed. It's 1-0. Miranda Wiggins, the shortstop, singled to center field her first time up. She's 1 for 1 in this one. And she was 1 for 2 in game 1 today. So she's got 2 hits on the day. 1-0 pitch. Well hit left field, high and deep, and caught right in front of the fence. Brianna Pasinger caught that ball right in front of the left field wall. Off the bat, Pete, I thought that was out of here. Going to go F7, and you're 1 out away from a sweep. Back to the top of the lineup we go, Lauren Garza. Garza 0 for 2, flew out to right, grounded out to third base. Game 1, she was 0 for 3. So Garza still looking for her first hit of the doubleheader. Popped up, this should do it. And now caught by the third baseman, Casey Moore, and there's your ball game. It's going to go F5, and the Apaches will win 8-0.
Today's doubleheader is Angelina 0, Apaches 8.
8 runs on 4 hits. no errors for the Apaches, no runs, 5 hits, and 1 error. And let's look at the box scores and wrap this one up for you, and we'll send you on your way. As the Apaches sweep a doubleheader from the Angelina College Lady Roadrunners.
Have a good evening and go Apaches.
On the pitching side of it, the losing pitcher will be Kylie Murdoch. She'll drop to 6-2 on the year. The winning pitcher will be Julia Knight. She will elevate her record to 11-4. The Roadrunners will drop to 41-17 overall. They'll drop to 15-11, and they will drop out of the 4th place spot. As we've already heard, Lavero swept Paris today. And so Angelina is going to have to pick it up here down the stretch to get back into the playoff picture. The Apaches will go to 42-13 on the year, and 21-3 in Region 14 East Conference play. Looking at the box scores for both squads, the Angelina Lady Roadrunners did not have anyone with more than 1 hit, and they were shut out. On the offensive side for the Tyler Junior College Apaches, they did not have their offensive weaponry, if you will. A lot of walks, which really helped the Apaches. They didn't have anyone with more than 1 hit. But Paysinger in the leadoff spot scores 3 runs. Rebecca Snow scores 3 runs. They both go 1 for 1 on the ball game. Mackenzie Goswick 1 for 2 with a run scored and an RBI. Snow also had 2 RBIs, as does Haley Weber. Haley Weber goes 0 for 3 but gets an RBI. And down in that 8th spot, Mackenzie Chatham goes 1 for 2 with an RBI. So your final line score for the Tyler Apaches, 8 runs, 4 hits, no errors. The Angelina Lady Roadrunners, no runs on 5 hits. They actually out-hit the Apaches, but they get run ruled. How's that working? Kind of frustrating if you're a coach, I'm sure. But again, what really set the tone for the Apache offense was all those walks. Kylie Murdoch issued 5 free passes, and all 5 of those free passes scored. And actually, it was 6 of them. And all 6 walks ended up scoring. So that really hurt you on the offensive side of it, or the defensive side, however you want to look at it, for the Angelina Lady Roadrunners, as they drop a doubleheader. The Game 1 score was 12-4 Apaches. Game 2, an 8-0 shutout for Julia Knight. That was her 3rd shutout of the season, as she gets the win and takes her record to 11-4. So that'll wrap things up. Our next broadcast will be next Wednesday. I think it's a 1 o'clock start, if I remember, against... Okay, so in some makeup games against Navarro next Wednesday, we will broadcast those 2 games here from the Schwab Field in Brook Hill. So for the whole athletic department at Tyler Junior College, Dr. Tim Drain, thanks to Chuck Smith for his work on the PA earlier today. Now Kelsey Weeks to my left handled the PA down the stretch, and Pedro Mendolia handled the scoreboard duties. Thanks to them. Thanks for all of you who chimed in on the message system, both on YouTube and on the Remind system. This is Dr. John Gross signing off from Bullard, Texas. The Apaches sweep a doubleheader 12-4 and 8-0. So long, everybody.